everyone, and welcome to this special broadcast of the Mike Vogiatzakis Show. I'm Brad Wilder, your host. I'd like to say it's great to be back. We were here last night. We're back again today under different circumstances. Last night was a lot of talk about the city of Winnipeg. Today, not so much. A little bit more talk about something that's tragic and happened here in Manitoba and in Winnipeg 2 years ago almost. And today was, well, justification, vilification, justice served. And I didn't think I'd be saying justice served anytime soon, but it does play out that way sometimes. And we're going to talk about that and Mike's brother, who was murdered here in Winnipeg, coming up right after this.
At Santa Lucia Pizza, you know it's all about the sauce. Did you also know, whether dine-in, takeout, or delivery, our menu is sure to please with a variety of options for the whole family. With quality ingredients for pizza, pasta, Greek, and so much more. Cut cooking out of your dinner plans and let Santa Lucia Pizza do all the work. With large portions, superior taste, great service, remarkable quality, and exceptional value, plus fantastic menu options, and our specialty, of course, pizza. Fresh and piping hot to your door. Pizza, pasta, Greek food, Santa Lucia. It's all about the sauce. Order online at santaluciapizza.com.
Back. Yeah, there'll be no jokes today. There'll be no shouting. There'll be no politics. Instead, earlier today, we're going to talk about the man responsible for the death of Mike Vogiatzakis' brother, who was convicted today of manslaughter. He was also convicted of uttering threats to kill a witness, and that decision matters. But what matters more is how we got here, because this death did not start on the day of the killing. It started with court decisions. It started with the release orders. It started with a system that keeps letting dangerous people walk back onto our streets. Today we're going to talk about, well, the catch and release program, a promise to appear, judicial accountability, and what happens when a system gets it wrong. Mike, thanks for being here today. I know this has been a tough day and a tough morning for you, and it's that day of final justice served in a sense. I mean, there's going to be a day where we get sentencing of X amount of years and time, but guilty verdict means we're headed in the right direction, and that came today with, I guess, a judge sitting up at the front of the room really kind of depicting both sides of what went on in this case and what happened during that evening. And there's ups and downs all the way. I mean, right from the get-go, it was like he had a heart attack. No, he didn't have a heart attack. Then all this other stuff comes in.
It was a roller coaster ride.
It's up and down, right? Like,
it was a roller coaster ride. But today's a win-win for not our family, not only our family, but maybe your family too. Finally, right. A judge stood up and said, guilty of manslaughter, meaning that my brother should have been alive today. But because of the catch and release program, a guy was let out on a promise to appear, believe it or not, after having a lengthy criminal record, released on a promise to appear only to kill my younger brother, Kyriakis. And that's devastating that a judge's decision to allow a criminal back on the streets of Winnipeg caused the murder of my brother and many other murders in the city of Winnipeg and province of Manitoba, right across Canada as we look at it. But today is a win-win. Finally, the judge stood up and made a difference. This difference may be a movement that the justice system is going to start tightening things up, that they're not going to allow criminals back on the street every day, and it's not going to be normal anymore at the law courts building. Kyriakis' case may go down in history for a judge finally standing up for a family that's been grieving for 2 years.
Yeah, there's no parole here on this one. It's straight to this.
And you know, when you're in
the
courtroom and you're going back and forth and you're hearing the judge, and it wasn't a jury, it was a judge, and and like you say, it was a roller coaster ride. And your emotions are all over the place, and you're thinking,
And-
is this guy is the justice system going to fail us? Is this guy going to walk out the front doors today? And that was running through my mind.
That's the whole point, is that the judge has to sit up there and give both sides of what the prosecution is saying, and then has to reiterate what the defense's case was too. And that's the roller coaster ride that Mike's talking about. And it was a really tough to hear, because I mean, you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, that didn't sound like right. I mean, I remember them saying that, and I remember the coroner saying this, and I remember everybody saying their piece, right? But when the judge says it, it's all put in a specific order. It's from the beginning of the timeline to the end of the timeline, and I think that timeline gets broken up during the trial, and it's very pieced. It's like all the pieces of the puzzle coming together here at the end. And when you hear it at the end, what does that do for you? Because that's like, I think it's overwhelming. I was like, whoa.
As you know, I don't break out and cry too often or get emotional, but at the end of that judge's decision, when everyone left the courtroom, I couldn't leave the courtroom. I was emotionally torn apart. This was a 2-year battle for a family, a 2-year battle of watching my mom watch a video in the courtroom of my brother, her son, being murdered in slow motion, zoomed in at a 40% angle, and she saw everything. Something no mother should ever go through.
And you took the lead for your family on all of this too, right?
Yeah, and it's been 2 years of me fighting.
You got a couple of brothers, and
Yeah.
they were there all the way beside you. But the reality is that you put on the suit and tie and went and got it done, right?
My brothers supported me, and I support my brothers, and we're a tight family. But again, that roller coaster ride and things that go through your mind when you hear the Crown speaking.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't you call in more witnesses? Like, everyone knew that this guy it wasn't a one-time visit. My brother fed this guy, the guy who murdered my brother Vogiatzakis.
Yeah.
He was invited into the restaurant when he told my brother that he was hungry. My brother told him to order whatever he wanted on the menu, and my brother paid for it. My brother had a heart. He took care of the guy. He just didn't boot him around and tell him to get lost. He opened up his heart and his door to him.
Well, that started, I think, as soon as the individual came back, and he was right next door in this shady motel, shady, sleazy motel, I'll say. And at the end of the day, it really is filled with convicts, because I mean, you're using it as a halfway house.
Yeah.
So these individuals are out there in the parking lot. I mean, he was in the parking lot that day. He's milling around. He's picking up cigarette butts. He's harassing customers for change. He might have checked a couple of door handles along the way over the course of time. But your brother was very convenient and lenient, and he was passionate in terms of compassion towards the guy, and said, I'll help you. But then the relationship went sideways that night, when obviously your brother had enough. And it wasn't the first time that your brother had a chance to say enough's enough. He obviously had an altercation, in a sense of a verbal altercation.
You see him pulling into the parking lot, my brother.
It was like he knew where he was going and what he was
coming
doing.
to work. He's pulling into the parking lot. He's a guy making a living. He's employing people. He's trying to make a difference in this world. He was the heart of St. James. People loved him in that area. And he's pulling into his parking lot, and there's the guy who he fed, causing problems in his parking lot again. Clearly in the video, my brother gets out of the car. They have a bit of a arguing match. You can't hear, but you can see my brother points.
Get off my property.
Get off my property.
That's
Go away.
right.
And then the altercation doesn't start then. My brother turns around and goes to open up the door of his restaurant. So my brother's had it. He said what he said, told him to get lost. Now he's going to walk back in and just take care of business again.
That's when the guy came running back.
And then the guy comes charging at him, as the judge put it. He came jogging at him. I would use more of he came charging at him.
Yeah, that's right. He was running.
If I come charging at you, Brad, or if I go charging at someone else, they're going to defend themselves.
Yeah, I'm going to drop to my knees.
Yeah, you're going to defend yourself. And for anybody who thinks that somebody's just going to sit there and let some guy charge in at you and you're just going to go, oh, please don't hurt me, you're going to defend yourself.
It
That's what Vogiatzakis
it turns into this real quick, right?
And we talk about everything that happened and how Vogiatzakis grabbed a hold of him and how a bunch of uppercuts took place and
That's right.
all the things that happened. But here's the devastating part. So if you watch the video, and maybe one day you will, with a lot of things blanked out, if you watch the video, you'll see at one point my brother is pretty much unconscious of the ground, and the judge brought this up. not able to defend himself any longer, where this person had a chance to walk away and get on with his day. It was a fight. The fight happened. You win or you lose, like any fight, but he decided not to do that.
So why are you here today, Mike? What's this all about?
Because I don't want another family standing where we were standing today, or where we've been standing for 2 years. It's been a long journey, Brad, and once you've gone through it, and as a funeral director, I've dealt with a lot of deaths.
Right.
And I've dealt with a lot of murders, but I've never been in a situation where you're sitting there listening to the judge and jury and the Crown bring out their case. But I wanted to bring up one more thing.
Sure.
So he got charged with manslaughter today. In my opinion, it should have been murder, but manslaughter is good for our family. It's a win. But I want to talk about what else happened. He also got charged for uttering threats to kill a witness. Somebody who ran out and said, "Hey, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, stop." And then what did he say to her?
Oh, he said, I'll come back. I know where you are. I know.
Didn't he say something that I'll bring you down?
Yeah, and I'll bring you down. Yeah,
I'll bring you down. I'll lay you down like I laid him down.
Yeah, that's right.
And then literally threatened to take her life.
Yeah.
Even said, I know where you work.
I know where you work, and I'll come back.
So there was a lot that went on. And you know what drives me crazy with this whole thing? I just want to bring this up, is the haters out there who kept saying, "Oh, it's your brother's fault. He threw the first punch. It was your brother's fault. He started the fight." Well, today proved that the whole time that I've been speaking, 2 years, fighting for my brother and for what happened, today finally justice was served.
That's
and today you just need to know was just the justice part, that he got convicted. And in April sometime, Brad was there when this took place. In April sometime, he's going to
be sentenced.
And that's a chance where you could give an impact statement.
Yeah.
An impact statement to the judge and to this character, Curtis character, on what he did and how it affected people's lives. And there was a lot of good people there today. People who cared about Kyriakis, who loved Kyriakis, who were part of this trial through the whole. And thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being there, Brad. It means so much to a family when you lose a loved one and you see the support is overwhelming by the people. Thousands of people have sent messages online. All kinds of, "I love you, God bless you, take care of yourselves, we're thinking about your family." And my mom, when I read those messages to her, has tears in her eyes, because this is an 80-year-old lady.
Makes her feel better, yeah.
Who's broken.
Yeah, absolutely.
She really is.
So this manslaughter conviction today, it means something, and it means something not only to you, but your whole family. So, what's that about? Like, where do you take that emotion and that?
I don't think... I didn't feel justice today. I felt like it was confirmation.
Conclusion?
Confirmation
that you were right.
That happened. I was right. That my brother's gone.
Everything you were saying along the way is
confirmation
true.
that the man who killed him was dangerous.
Yeah.
And I've been saying that the whole time. It's confirmation that the system only reacts after someone dies.
Hard to believe somebody that scrawny and weak is dangerous.
A conviction doesn't bring closure. It brings reality to our hearts. And the reality is this: my brother should still be alive. And that's the reality. My brother is gone. This court case or the decision or the sentencing is not going to bring Kyriakis back.
No, that's right. And, you have to help me out here. I'm lost.
So we're right here right now where he was convicted of uttering threats and stuff. And so let me take this for you. So
yeah.
Today he was convicted of uttering threats to kill a witness. What does that tell you about the risk? This person posed a risk to society. He posed a risk to the citizens of Winnipeg, the innocent people of Winnipeg.
Right.
And exactly what I already knew. This was not a one in a mistake.
Yeah.
This was not bad luck.
What was it?
This was a predictable outcome that the courts knew may happen by his criminal history.
Right.
And when someone threatens a witness and it goes unnoticed or just released, the system is gambling with human lives. So when they release this guy from the courts, they were gambling with your life, my life, and my brother's life. And unfortunately, my brother lost the gamble.
You know, people hear catch and release all the time, but not a lot understand what that means. And, you know, we're not talking about getting caught and staying in jail for a period of time and then getting released. This is like getting caught, being charged, not going to court yet, but being released anyway. And that's that catch and release system. Now, there's another catch and release where they're getting out on parole early and for good behavior or whatever, and then they end up at a halfway house like the one next door to the Cork and Flame that day, and next thing you know, they're back to being convicts again. So, I mean...
Well, catch and release means this. It means the police do their job, they arrest someone, they lay charges, and then the courts undo it in a fast second before the paperwork, before the ink's even dry on the paper. Yeah. They release those people back in the streets. People are released. The community is frustrated. The police department is frustrated. And I'm sure the Crown Attorney and courts are frustrated because they had this person in custody. Back out to the community. Sometimes within hours. Often with no conditions whatsoever. No one enforces what's going on. It's paperwork. Pretending to be safety.
Right.
And that is a huge problem when we count on paperwork to protect us.
Sure. Now, who benefits from this catch and release program?
Not the public.
Wow.
Not the victims. Not the families. The only people who benefit are the offenders.
The criminal.
And the system.
Yeah.
That doesn't warrant responsibility. And it's responsibility that we need.
That's right. Cleanup is a big part of this too, and you know, it starts on the streets, it starts on the corners, and it starts with homelessness, and it starts with drug addicts.
Exactly.
And those are the things that need to be taken care of. We've got a big mental health problem in this country, and that's another big issue. But let's talk about promise to appear now, because promise to appear is what? What is that all about?
Usually,
I'm going to promise you that you promised me you were coming to do this show today, and that was your promise to appear.
So I want you to know something. Again, we talked about this at the beginning of the show. Promise to appear was exactly what the judge let this guy out on. He signed a piece of paper that said, you promise. Usually that means nothing.
Right.
It means nothing. A warrant might get issued if you don't come back.
What happens if you don't show up?
They might issue a warrant. It might sit in the system for quite a bit of time.
Right.
Police are already overwhelmed. Meanwhile, that person is still free. And sometimes they kill someone. And this time, it just happened to be my brother Kyriakis. Next time, it could be your family member, your mom, dad, your brother or sister. Just when you think this can't happen to me, it can.
Anybody can be the victim, right?
Did I ever think we'd be the victim?
Probably
After
not.
all the murders that I do as a funeral director, did I ever think that I'd be embalming my own brother?
After all the late nights that we've DJ'd and been in places that, you know, we probably shouldn't have been back then, but we were, and we're still here today, but the whole world's changed from when we were kids, man.
Terrible. And
it's not the
we
same
think
place.
about safety in Manitoba. So one of the biggest reasons, we were there today, and I think one of the biggest reasons a big decision took place today is somebody stood up and somebody fought. And that was me, and I didn't let this go. You know, I use my voice, and you have a voice too. And in the future, I want to be your voice. This isn't about politics today, but it's about leadership. And it's a big part of what needs to happen to have change going. Like I say, I hope that this case becomes an example, a movement from the court system to finally realize that families like ours and others are being devastated on the streets through drugs, through mental health, through robberies, through shootings, through murders, because of the courts releasing these people back in the streets.
So at that point, who becomes a victim, Mike?
The innocent person, Brad, who never agreed to be part of this experiment, because it is an experience. Their family becomes the sentence. Our family became the sentence. We didn't want to be part of this experiment, this catch and release of this guy wandering around on the streets. I shared this story before, but I want to share a quick story. My son, Josh, saw something on Facebook, and it said, do not approach very dangerous, almost like that warning that went out today. If you saw that warning,
Right.
it was kind of the same thing. And Josh, for some reason, decided he was going to share it. And he shared it, and I got it on my page, and I looked at it, and wow, Curtis, whatever his last
Dale
name is.
Bozic.
Dale Bozic. Dangerous offender. Do not approach. Call RCMP immediately. Dangerous. That same guy is the guy that killed my brother a year later. A year after my son shared that on Facebook. What does that tell you? He was on the loose for a year on this promise to appear. Did the police find him? No. Did the courts go looking for him? No. Was he left out in the street to do harm? Yes. And that's the experiment.
What does the system never account for, Mike?
I think, funerals, trauma, children growing up without parents, and that's a big thing. And
It is.
Kyriakis didn't have kids. Parents burying their children. Here's my mom at 78 burying her youngest kid who lived with her, who loved her. And what a terrible thing for a mother to go through. And I hope that none of you moms or dads or grandparents watching the show right now have to bury your loved one because of a tragic death. Why? Because the catch and release system has let our family down, and they've let many families down. Judges,
They don't attend those funerals, do
no,
they?
judges don't attend the funerals, and maybe they should. Maybe judges should go to the funerals and feel the pain of a family who's lost somebody to murder or lost somebody to another violent act.
He can't even pick up the phone and call you when this happened.
Politicians don't come out and sit at the funeral with those families and watch the tears and the sorrow and the anger and the hate, but funeral directors do. And I see it quite often, and it's painful and it's hurtful, but I never thought that I'd be in this situation today myself.
You'd be that mayor, wouldn't you?
I would be. I would be that mayor who phones your family and offers my deepest condolences. I'd be the mayor who would show up to a trial to see what's going on.
So, look, from your perspective, what does accountability look like in this situation? Because, X amount of years, and then you've got time and a half for time served. I mean, once you break it all down, what's left?
That's a big thing. Like, what is left? Where's the accountability? And what does it look like? It
was a violent death.
Yeah, releasing somebody is a decision that a judge made. And it directly leads to a violent death or to crime in our streets or more drugs being sold or more gangs being brought together. That decision must be reviewed, in my opinion. No more silence. No more immunity. No more pretending. No one could have seen this coming. No one could have seen this coming. And the judges and the crown attorneys and the lawyers that stick up for these criminals that have criminal records a mile long need to be accountable for their actions.
So if judges say they're just following the law, is that true?
No.
Do you think it is?
No. Judges have discretion. And this judge today had discretion. And discretion without accountability is dangerous.
Well, you say accountability, but I think the judge today compared it back to case law that's already happened in the past and how it relates. And she has to kind of go through a bunch of different case law scenarios that kind of help her piece this together because no case is ever the same, right?
And it's case law that actually brought this guy down at the end.
Right.
And I think it's a judge who wants to do the right thing. Today's judge was a mother.
Yeah.
Today's judge saw the reality of somebody being murdered. She watched the video, which was horrifying. Today's judge saw the reality of what's happening on our streets, saw the reality of a killer that overtowered my brother.
Yep.
And didn't stop when enough was enough.
Had many a chance to walk away 3 or 4 times during the whole situation and didn't. Came back and kept giving it to him.
But that discretion, including today's judge, right, could cost a life. But she decided that there would be consequences for what he did.
That's right.
And because there's consequences, Curtis will be going to jail. I just can't wait for the sentencing. That's going to be another big day, the victim statements, and where we find out where he goes. Does he get 5 years? Does he get 8 years? He's up on two.
It ain't going to be 2 less a day, I'll tell you that.
Two major charges. And in my heart, I hope this guy gets off to Stony Mountain.
Yeah.
And serves a hard time. Like I said, it's not going to bring my brother back. It's not going to solve anything on the streets, but it is going to keep one less criminal on our streets. And you know what? I got to say something. So his parents were in the courtroom today and the other day. And, you could be mad at his parents by saying, well, what kind of kid did they raise? But then if your child is in that situation and your child murders somebody, as a mom and dad, you're going to be there for your child and show them love and that you're there and love them unconditionally. So I kind of felt bad for his parents because it's not the first time they were in the courtroom.
No, that's right.
It's not the first time they had to be there to show, their kid love.
Is this anti-justice or anti-judge?
and that's a good question. This is pro-victim, if you ask me, pro-public safety, and compassion without boundaries. Is it negligence?
Could be.
When there's compassion without boundaries, is it negligence? I believe it is. A good judge can make a difference.
Yeah.
A good jury can make a difference. And it's about the facts. And it's about how it's presented. And I found out today how people can get away with the Crown Attorney, for example, not giving the right evidence to the judge that needs to be proven.
Yeah.
And thank God there was a video in this case that actually showed what happened.
Yeah, because it could have been misconstrued in a big way.
And like I say, this is a case that may change the way the law courts operate. We've been talking about the catch and release program right across Canada. I know that it has a lot to do with the Prime Minister. It has a lot to do with the way the world is going. But that's when people step in and people use their voices and people demand change. We demand better. We demand accountability. We demand that our loved ones are safe.
Do you think it deters crime?
What?
Well, everything.
Not at all. When offenders expect release, crime becomes routine. And we see that over and over again. When a criminal commits an act of violence,
right,
or robbery or murder or whatever, and goes to the court system and is released 2 hours or 3 hours later, there's no consequences. So how does that change anything?
Yeah, it's sort of like getting a ticket at that point, isn't it?
The only way we're going to change our streets is when there's real consequences that make change, that make a difference, that stand up for the rights of people. Go back to case law, make new case law, do what you got to do. But I think criminals need to be put where they need to be.
So, I guess final question, because time is short, but why are you willing to even talk about this today? Why do this? What's this about?
I wanted to talk about this because for 2 years now it's been a struggle to keep it in my heart, a struggle not to say something
right,
that may affect the case. Because I want to tell you something, and I want you to listen carefully to this. Silence kills. My brother's gone because people stayed quiet and trusted a broken system. If speaking out saves one life, just one life, then this pain has had purpose. And that's why I'm speaking out. That's why I'm running for mayor in May of 2026, because I want to speak out. I want to have a purpose. I want change to happen. And trust me, I said it the day of my brother's service. I'll say it again today. In my brother's memory, I will make change in the city of Winnipeg, and I'll do it from my heart, compassionately, with love, care, and understanding.
And you should. And you should.
And if we stay silent, Brad, what do we get? We get nothing. Something I want to do today, too, is I want to go to the comments and just read some of these comments, because I think this death has touched a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And if you can today, do me a favor. Please like, share, and follow.
So this conversation's uncomfortable, right? It can be. But at the same time, there's a lot to be learned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
There's a lot to be learned, because justice delayed isn't justice.
It's necessary.
It's denied. And again, today, after that struggle, it was almost, and I think you felt it too, it was like somebody took 1,000 pounds off your back and it just released. Because there was so many, the way the courts have been working, there were so many thoughts going through my head and everyone else's head, and the struggle was real that this guy may have walked out today.
I was sitting there and I kept thinking to myself, we won, we lost, we won, we lost, we won, we lost, we won, we lost, and at the end of it, we won.
Yeah, and it's people coming together, people loving each other, caring for each other, people willing to stand up, people who are willing to allow somebody to be your voice, somebody who's willing to make a difference for you, somebody who's willing to stand up, somebody who's not afraid to speak, somebody who's willing to take a city in the right direction.
Yeah.
And if I would have probably been quiet, said nothing, where would this case have been? It's
Nobody
about
knows, right?
It's about
Could have
making
gone anywhere.
noise and letting the city know what happened. Let's face this, man. 5:30 in the afternoon. Listen to this. 5:30 in the afternoon. My brother was murdered on Portage Avenue. Not one car stopped. Not one person stopped to help. Life went on for people. What's happened with people? What's happened with their morals? Their willingness to help, the willingness to stop a fight, honk your horn, block traffic, do something to make a difference. I can't believe that in the heart of St. James, on Portage Avenue, where we have thousands and thousands of cars driving by daily,
Nobody could get out.
nobody could get out. Clearly, that fight went on, they said in the court today, for 4 minutes.
There was a car that pulled into the parking lot and parked. They got out. They walked in and just took a look back, and there's your brother lying out front. It was
And they went in and tried
So
to order
tragic.
food.
so tragic.
This is what society has come to. Another person videotaped my brother being murdered. He could have helped. The other thing that's frustrating and I want to talk about quickly, it's about 911 that day. And 911,
So emergency response.
emergency
time.
response, not the people that work there, not the good guys and girls that go out every day and work hard saving people's lives.
It's about standard operating procedures. Right.
Yeah, it's about that. My brother lay on the street for 25 minutes.
That's right.
And it was proven in court. My brother died on the street. That was proven in court too. But when I talked about this at the beginning, when it all happened, they brushed it off and pretended, the city of Winnipeg brushed it off as if I was a big liar, I was a scam artist, and I was trying to get something out of the city. But I was right.
It's never the case.
What happened, happened. My brother died on the street. The ambulance was 25 minutes later. Could have they saved his life? I mean, an ambulance in the heart of St. James on Portage Avenue, 4 minutes away from the hospital.
From the grace.
Could have they saved his life?
Yep.
We heard from the medical examiner's office and a medical examiner who came out who did the autopsy. And he talked about Kiriakis' death. And at first he
Right.
talked about cardiac arrest. And we talked about asphyxiation. And we talked about all those things. But the system and procedures let us down, and we need to change that. We need to have a better 911 response time. We got to get rid of the answering machines. We have to have real people that care, and we need real action when somebody's on the street. And it's happened not only with my brother, but numerous other family members that have been laying in their front yards or in their houses waiting for ambulances for 6, 7, 8 hours. It's unacceptable for the city of Winnipeg to take that long to come and help a person who's struggling, whether it's a minor injury, whether it's a tragic injury. We count on 911. And I'm not putting down the police officers. The police officers who were on scene that day did their best to try and save my brother. CPR,
Well, it was
For
more
long
than,
periods
more
of
than
time.
just ambulance or police.
fire,
Fire
police,
was there,
everyone.
right? Everyone.
And it's not the good people that work every day
That's right.
and do their best to save lives, because without police, fire, paramedics, where would we be when emergency happens? What I'm simply saying is we need to speed up the response times. We need to make the city better. We need to make it more accountable to the citizens and make sure that we can save lives.
You ever call 911 and wait for an hour?
I've called 911 when we've had emergencies at the funeral home. And I've had an answering machine 2 or 3 times. Meanwhile, somebody's having a stroke. And it's time sensitive.
That's right.
Those things are time sensitive, whether you're having a heart attack, whether you're having a stroke. We depend on 911. Let's fix the system. Let's make it more accountable. Let's make it faster. Let's make it about people. And let's thank the good people that go out and put on those uniforms every day and save thousands and thousands of lives. And sometimes, like in my brother's case, those poor people working that shift have to look a mother in the eyes and say, your loved one's gone. But deep down inside, they know there would have been a different result if they would have got there sooner.
Sad.
It's sad. It's things like that we need to fix in the city. We just wanted to come on today. We wanted to talk about what happened in the courtroom. We wanted to talk about how accountability actually took place today.
Yeah.
How a judge stood out from other judges.
I think we could get them all to participate now and going after and holding some accountability for the wonderful things that they did to us over the last 4 years.
I got to say something, Brad. This is just the beginning of my fight. This is just the beginning. A lot of people may think, oh, it's the end. You got closure. No, this is just the beginning. I am going to fight with every piece of strength I have left in my body, in my brother's memory, to make change to the city for you, the people who deserve it. The tax-paying citizens that go to work and work hard every day, who deserve accountability, who deserve answers, who deserve open books, who deserve the right to know.
100%. Yep.
Thank you for tuning in this afternoon. God bless you and your families. Take care of yourselves and each other. Please like, share, and follow. Together, you and I will make a difference. Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome, Mike.
At Santa Lucia Pizza, you know it's all about the sauce. Did you also know, whether dine-in, takeout, or delivery, our menu is sure to please with a variety of options for the whole family. With quality ingredients for pizza, pasta, Greek, and so much more. Cut cooking out of your dinner plans and let Santa Lucia Pizza do all the work. With large portions, superior taste, great service, remarkable quality, and exceptional value, plus fantastic menu options, and our specialty, of course, pizza. Fresh and piping hot to your door. Pizza, pasta, Greek food, Santa Lucia. It's all about the sauce. Order online at santaluciapizza.com.